Hi, I'm Dr. Paul Haefner. Welcome to Sport Psych in a Minute, your weekly resource for insights and tips into the psychological side of equestrian sport. I'm here today with Nubble, getting ready to go for a ride, and you may or may not be able to see Cheetah, who is here playing fetch. She's one of our barn mascots. What I'd like to talk with you today about is how we generate satisfaction, joy, and alternatively frustration. One of the things that's really interesting about us as people is that one of the things that we consistently do is compare ourselves to other people. And what we understand is that the point or the person or the situation we choose to compare ourselves with can lead to either a sense of accomplishment, satisfaction, joy, happiness, or it can end up going the other way and leading to a sense of disappointment or frustration. It is a well-known and well-studied fact that in the Olympics, silver medalists are consistently less happy than bronze medalists. And the thought is that the silver medalists are comparing themselves to the person who won the gold, while the bronze medalists are comparing themselves to all of those other competitors that didn't medal, and that they get to stand up there and get to stand on the medal stand, where so many other athletes are not having that opportunity. There are some practical things that can help us make sure that we're drawing comparisons which lead to our own sense of satisfaction, sense of accomplishment, and overall our sense of joy and happiness in what we're doing. The first of which is to remember, and I know this is a cliche, but remember that it's the journey, not the destination, that ultimately matters. And that on that journey, it's a journey that we are choosing to take. So the idea of connecting to our internal motivation and stepping onto a path which allows us to indulge in and to live that which we find really motivating for ourselves is really important. The second thing to remember is that, if we find ourselves frustrated or a sense of falling short, that we take a look at who we are comparing ourselves to and ask ourselves, is that a good and realistic comparison? And does that allow us to appreciate how far we've come and what we've accomplished, as much as giving us a sense of where we want to go? One way of doing that is to simply ask yourself the question, well, what would it be like if I hadn't, and you fill in the blank, okay? So if you're thinking about what would it have been like if I hadn't gone to that competition, what would it be like if I hadn't challenged myself in that way? Asking those questions tend to focus ourselves on the things that we have taken away from participating and challenging ourselves. Another way is that when we are looking at someone who is or we perceive to be more accomplished than we are, it's to remember that those are not comparisons. Oh, hang on a second. Come on, girl. Come back up this way. Those are comparisons that are really going to help inspire us if we allow them to remind ourselves in that moment of comparison that this person in this situation accomplishing these things represents something for us to shoot for, not something to judge ourselves by. And the third thing, which is something that I've talked about multiple times before, is the idea that appreciation and a sense of gratitude for what we are able to do with our horses. Right, Nob? Come here, girl. What we are able to do with our horses is going to help sustain that quality of happiness and joy as we take that journey. So this has been Sport Psych in a Minute. I'm Dr. Paul Haefner. I will look forward to talking with you next week.